Hello, Louisville. Guess who's coming to dinner? Happy New Year, 2022. Guess who's coming to dinner is back. Here we are, wanting to wish everyone a happy New Year. Can't see my little. Can't see my little starfish. I gotta put my starfish where you can see my starfish because it's a very pretty starfish. I want to say I hope everyone had a safe and enjoyable New Year's, a beautiful Christmas. Got to see family and friends. Stayed masked up, stayed safe. Because I'm going to give like an overview of 2021 as I manipulate this pen, and outlook into 2022. 2021 was full of ups and downs. It was like a roller coaster ride. The variant went from COVID-19 to Delta variant to Omicron. So here we are, numbers rising high in the sky. Some schools, people going back to school, some still doing remote learning, just taking a little extended vacation for the holidays. We had some death. We had Miss Betty White just recently, but along with that, one of my favorite folks, or just a character, John Madden. See, I'm a Raiders fan from way back in the day, of George Atkinson and the man that put all the stickum on his hands, from the Raiders during the time of Marcus Allen and Nehemiah Geraldo. He was a high jump Olympian who became a Raider. That's how glued into the Raiders I had been from back in the day. John Madden was a character and a very memorable one at that. We wish his family and Betty White's family our sincere condolences. And the gentleman that just also recently passed over in South Africa is Desmond Tutu. An iconic spiritual leader who lent his warmth and his compassion to the world to show, I guess, kind of like the essence of the people of Africa after apartheid. That it was not so much of a revenge situation, that he was the intricate part that dealt with a lot of the healing and the transition of power. That's Pulitzer Prize winner Bishop Desmond Tutu. His passing, he will be truly missed. 2021. Well, I told you we moved personally. We moved and still are trying to get things arranged and set up. Don't have much on the wall because this is now the new home of Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. Apropos, I'm sitting at my dining room table. So eventually I plan to have two guests here live in living color having dinner with me. But I thought I was getting close to that point, but with COVID, not too quick to move on. I'd have to have a film crew and lots of people, not a lot of people, but maybe too many people in the house for me right now. So getting that together, I'm still conceptualizing what I want you to see in the presentation of my conversations that I have with people. And my conversations are easy. They're just, to the point, matter of fact. My opinion, their viewpoints. We moved up through 2021. I met some people that I didn't know. I met Faith Owens, young man who's also a community activist, positivity, just dealing with a wealth of positivity that came out of his grief and his sorrow from losing his friends in a car accident. Also met up with a poet laureate from up in northern Kentucky. We had her on this year. And for Christmas, for the holidays, I did a home for the holidays because I know a lot of people that are from Louisville that live in other cities that are doing wonderful things. I had on my nephew, my great nephew. He's down in Houston, Texas. Dominique, Happy New Year, sweetie. And he's getting his master's in social justice, criminal justice. And he's flourishing in a different environment other than Louisville, Kentucky. And I say to people a lot of times, if your children want to move and try to live in other places, encourage that, because that helps in one's growth, to get a different perspective, because there's a different type of culture that goes on in every city. Every city has its own signature piece that makes it what it is. Atlanta's got what makes it what it is. Atlanta is very socially astute to me. And now Atlanta, I'll get back to, that'll be my part of my 2022. We have to go back to Atlanta because we have to touch base with Miss Stacy. Okay. And what else? 2021. So 2021, we still are dealing with matters in the political realm, talking about critical race theory. All I can say is it happened. You can't get rid of it. You can't erase it. You can't, just because you don't speak about it, doesn't make it not so. That's just because you say it doesn't mean it's so either. I mean, that's saying if you tell a lie, does not make the lie the truth, because you say it, that you will it into fruition, or you put it in the ether, and it takes on a life of its own, which the lie has done for a whole year. It's taken on a life of its own, and our democracy is under attack, totally under attack. So we better wake up, and we need the Senate to get to the passing the civil rights amendment that was taken out as a law for that ruled the nation. I think we need to get that back in there. I think that needs to be first and foremost, because we're getting ready to have elections, and here we go again. So get ready, put your seatbelts on. But we need Democrats to be aggressive and not passive. I'm just saying, that's what time it is. That's where I am. That's my, I'm just saying bit, and I'm sticking to it. 2022. Okay, 2022, here we are, January the 3rd already. Okay, so this month on Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, I plan to bring people that I've not had on before. Some people that are doing new things or in new positions in the city that we may know about. Some of us may know about, some of us don't. I'd maybe like to learn a little bit more about who they are, because I don't know all of these new people. We have a new editor over at the Courier Journal. We have a new president and CEO over at the Muhammad Ali Center. We have a new president and CEO at Metro United Way. So those are just a few of the people that I will be inviting to come have a conversation, a dinner conversation with you and I. You know what I'm saying? Because we need to check them out and let them know that we're supported. We need to let them, people that are doing the heavy lifting in the city as far as bringing us information, as far as upholding the name of one of our iconic leaders and role models of the city, Muhammad Ali. We need to be just as vocal and supportive of them as we are of those people that whose names we see every day that are out in the forefront. And this show is about finding those people that are not out front all the time, but they're here. They're doing their work. Their voices need to be heard. That's all I want to do is just say, so what's going on with you? What do you see for Louisville? And we're still in the same place in 2022, stuck with no convictions for those who perpetrated the murder against Breonna Taylor. How long does it take? I mean, justice. Just think about it. Justice, we used to say just us. But justice. Young lady still doesn't have justice. Her mother doesn't have peace. They're still walking around doing whatever they want to do, And my sincere condolences to Breonna's mother that she still needs our support. Somebody was trying to call me. They must not know I don't talk on the phone at 7 p.m. on Mondays or Fridays. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to have 2 guests a week or if I'm just going to do 1 guest on Mondays and do a rerun on that Friday. For as long as I have guests twice a week, if I have enough guests, I will do a different show on Mondays and Fridays. If not, I may have a show on Monday and run that same show on that Friday. But it won't be extended any further than that. During the holidays or special times or vacations that I will be taking. So just know that I will have encore conversations, which is I'll just play repeat shows that I've had. But for 2022, we've got some political races coming up. Here in Louisville, Kentucky, we've got Charles Booker running to defeat Rand Paul. Tall mountain to climb, but hopefully this time he will climb that mountain, and that we have to. That's a heavy push. That's a heavy push. He needs our support. He needs our financial support, and I just want his campaign to know that I am supportive of his candidacy because we need somebody that speaks truth to power. I think Mr. Booker can do that. He had a very good showing against Miss Allison Lundgren, but she just had a head start on him at that point in time. So here we are, 2022. That's Louisville politics. Got a mayoral race. Got a mayoral race that which will disenfranchise the Black vote. To some extent, I do believe, because we're running against each other. We have to. I was hoping that the city could be more unified than we are. I look for ways to make that happen, and I do my part on this show to just speak on that, this city, we need to speak with one voice, if at all possible, but in order to make things happen, because when we're divided up, other people can take control of our narrative, and that's not what we want. We have to control our own narrative, control our own destinies, control uh, what we see that's most beneficial to us for our standard of living. So, these are things that we have to keep in our minds, in our day-to-day activities as we go about our lives. Just what kind of life are we living? Are we standing behind the curtains looking out and not saying anything? Or are we stepping out on faith and being a part of the solution? Not just always talking about that we have a problem, but actually trying to get involved somewhere to fit in so your voice can be heard. Because everybody's voice matters, especially if you live here. So I'm going to ask everybody just to be supportive of Mr. Charles Booker. In the mayoral race, I have not a clue. I have not a clue because I don't see why they're running against each other in the first place. There's 6,000 votes. They're going to split them up. Not just them two getting 3 and 3. But then there's another third. Mr. Greenberg has constituency that's got him positioned to maybe even take a third. And if you don't get 51% of the vote during the primaries, which is in May, okay, then you won't be able to, you have no leverage for the general. So it's, I think it's kind of sad because I think Louisville was we're on the fence. We fall to the right, we're a little backwards. We fall to the left, we could be very progressive because we got folks in this city doing things. I want to give a shout out to Butch Mosby. And I think it's the brother that owns, I don't know all their names, the brother that owns Club Cedar and the brother that owns the Palm Room, that they joined forces. Check this out. Butch Mosby owned the name Joe's Palm Room because he is a supporter to carry on the legacy of Joe Hammond. Okay. But these 3 young gentlemen have come together to take Joe Hammond's name and put it back on the Palm Room. Now, that's going some. I think that's all of that in the bag of chips. I mean, that's when you see us being progressive. Those are progressive thinkers. They sat down and put that together. This brother said, I own the name. This brother says, I have the club, the venue. The venue is mine. Another brother says, I just want to be a part of it and make it happen because it's our history. And Joe Hammond's had a wonderful history of being a businessman and a leader in our community that people looked up to. I mean, I remember I didn't go at that time, but I remember when Joe's Palm Room was on 13th and Magazine. It was a mainstay kind of in my home that this was where my mother went for her entertainment and her socialization, until I got old enough to say, I like Joe's too. And so can I go? And would you mind? So we made a pact that we would meet when I was here teaching school, that we would meet on a Friday and we'd go to matinee at 5. When matinee was over, my mother would go home and then I would stay for the later part. So that was our agreement. So that she wouldn't feel like I was running her off from her place where her friends were still going and she still enjoyed going. So I say kudos to Butch Mosby and the owner of the Palm Room now, Joe's Palm Room. It's back. Hey, 2022. Now that's something. That's a chess move. That's a power move. That's a paying tribute to this gentleman that was a part of our community for years, and added to the substance and the growth of the business community in Louisville, Kentucky. What can you say? Um, who else did I talk to this year? I talked to Home for the Holidays. I spoke with Dr. Reverend Robert Buggs Wilkins out in the Bay Area. We had a lovely conversation. The conversation was long, but we touched on a little bit of everything, of friendships, where we were born, where we went to school, our intellectual savvy, our our growth in the areas of our of expertise that he went into the ministry and my stint in show business. So two friends that just really kind of respect each other for years and years and have been the best of friends, even though, we don't see each other or do we talk on a regular basis, but just it's felt like yesterday when we had the conversation. I also had a conversation with Bruce Johnson, who's going to be coming through Louisville. I think he said February. Now, Bruce has his book is out. You can get his book. It's on Amazon. Let me just do this real quick because I need to. I meant to do this, but I didn't. So what I'm trying to do is see where we're going to be, because I want everybody from Kentucky State, or they went to Shawnee, or they just knows Bruce Johnson. Now, Bruce Johnson has retired now, but he had been an anchor on WUSA in DC for the past 25, 30 years. Okay, so that's where Bruce, his adult life and building his family and raising his children, that's where he was. So he's coming to Louisville, and I plan to be a part of his book signing event. I've asked permission, so he's going to have to put me in touch with his people so we can see if we can work that out. So I can make sure that you're a part of it too, because it's something cool to see that's the wrong one. To see our Louisvillians that are moving and shaking, making things happen. And Bruce Johnson is one of them. It was a delightful conversation with Bruce, because, you never know how many similarities you have with somebody, or their outlooks or their perspectives. And his time at Kentucky State seemed to be as vibrant and as positive as most people that I know that went to Kentucky State. I've never heard anybody say that they didn't have a positive experience going to Kentucky State. This is my 50th class reunion coming up from Kentucky State this year, class of 72. Whoop, whoop, whoa. Now that's something. So what I wanted to do is, I still want to tell you, I need to find a way to put this on. His book is called Surviving Deep Waters. And it's a Simon & Schuster publication. So you should be able to find it on on Amazon. I'm going to put the name of the book up so that you can see. What am I doing? That's wrong. I'm trying to. All right. Surviving Deep Waters. All right. So, and I still plan to go down to Roots 101 and um, do a tour. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. Um, I guess they're still up. They had some voting going on for it to be one of the top 10 places to visit in the country. And Lamont Collins and the hard work that he's done and put in to Roots 101 was on that list. And rightly so. It's beautiful. You go into each room and you go through like you're walking through a time capsule, but being born and raised here, you can feel each era of time as you navigate the rooms downstairs to upstairs. And in Mama Nim's area, Mama Nim's living room, I think it is something like that. But I think it's lovely, absolutely lovely. But I'm still here hoping that if you've got some suggestions, feel free to send me a post to Jantastic Productions or put it on my personal page, Janice Carter. I was on Facebook before I got married, so I just left it like it is. It's Janice Carter. And let's see if we can do this. We've got a divide amongst us. So let's see if we can close the gap amongst us, because that's where everything will start. Everything has to start with us. Like FUBU, everything will start with us, for us, and by us to help us. How about that? So I hope you'll join me on, it's not this Friday. I'll have somebody this Friday. I got to do my scheduling. I'm a little behind, but I'll catch up. On Monday, we have a gentleman. His name is Derek Vitto. And Mr. Vitto is coming to Louisville to produce a film about a documentary on the Black perspective of Derby. White folks have their Derby and Black folks have their Derby in Louisville. And so this aspect of the Derby has never been captured or focused in on, really. I guess no one felt a need to. But this gentleman seems to have kind of corralled a Lexington constituency and a Louisville following to help him make this happen. And so we're going to have him on the 10th of January. 10th of January, I think that's exactly what it is, January. And he's going to tell us about the movie. So there'll be some parts for some extra work. A lot of people want to be a part of something that's historic about our city. That's when we can do it. I'll let you know when it's coming up, what's going to happen. So on that note, I did not want to not have a show today, even though I didn't have a guest. I wanted to do an overview of last year and an outlook for this year. And let you know, give you my sentiments for the new year, that I'm wishing everyone a very happy new year. Stay safe, be well. And on that note, guess who's coming to dinner? It's dinner time. Bon appetit. I'll see you on Friday. Take care.